right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I am so excited to talk to you tonight all about branding yourself on social media, how to create value, how to create content, how to be unique, how to be genuine, and just really how to be you without feeling like you have to be somebody else, without feeling like, you know, that point where you're like, what should I be posting? Am I posting the right things? And then you feel like you just continuously post the same things over and over, and you feel like it's not getting you the results that you want. Go ahead and drop a 1 in the comments if you feel like you're posting things and it's just not getting you where you want to be, okay? So this is going to help you overcome all of those things. It's going to make you feel excited to wake up and talk about what you have to say and to really just get on social media and be who you are without worrying if you're doing the right thing or not. After this Zoom, I want you to walk away from this video and feel like you know exactly what you need to do, what you need to work on. And if you're anything like me, you're gonna feel this sense of clarity on what kind of things you need to go create. And so that's what we're gonna go ahead and dive right into, you guys, is we're gonna talk about creating content and who you are on social media, okay? So do you guys ever feel like you struggle with what to post? That is something that I struggled with in the beginning. And of course, we tell you guys, just talk about the products and incorporate it into your life. Talk about your life, show your everyday, activities and what you're doing. That is exactly what you want to do, but you want to enhance it and be that kind of person that people want to follow. So a lot of questions I get is, what do I post around that? And I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. But do you ever feel like when you're doing this business that you're almost like forcing yourself to be somebody else? For me in the beginning, I was so genuinely excited about the products that I never felt like I was faking anything, but I definitely felt like I was turning into the company. I was just posting about it works. I was just posting about the products. And it wasn't authentic and it wasn't real. It was almost like I was trying to post what I felt like would be right. And so a lot of you are probably going through that right now as well. You're trying to post what's right because you think that's what you're going to get results from. So chances are that you're probably branding yourself the wrong way, and you're probably trying to just brand the company even more. So here's what I mean by that. I mean by that, you are trying to post about it works in the business and what it's doing for you so much that you're kind of losing you as a person. I can't tell you how many people I've signed up and they said, I don't want to do this because I don't want to post about products all day. I don't want to post about this business when I haven't even been in it too long, okay? So you're probably branding the company. And the thing is, you guys, the company has already done that. They've paid hundreds of thousands and, they've paid the photographers, they've paid the people to get the name out there. They've paid people to keep all the text the same, the colors the same, the website, have it all go together and, get their name out there. They pay us to share their products, but they don't pay us to brand them. They pay us to sell the products, but the only way we're going to be able to sell the products is if we brand ourselves. So there's a difference between the company brand and your personal brand. How many of you guys right now, go ahead and put me. If you feel like you don't know what your personal brand is right now, besides the products in the business. Wow. That's a lot of you. And that's totally okay. It wasn't until recently that I figured out what personal branding is. And I've been doing it for the last couple months. And, obviously we became top income earners, and it's worked even before I even knew what personal branding was. But before I really started practicing personal branding, I was doing it without realizing I was doing it. I was doing it just because it was almost like natural to me. So when other people, and that's how some of you guys are too, some of you guys hop on and it just comes naturally to you, and then others wonder why your views aren't changing. Others wonder why your likes are like, if anything, going down or staying the same, and you're not getting anywhere. And I always found it so hard to be like, why aren't you getting it? I don't get it. I don't understand. But it wasn't until I truly researched personal branding and just branding in general on social media that I realized, oh my God, if I just explain it this way, people are going to be able to get it. And, you know, sometimes showing a picture isn't enough. Like for me, for instance, when I show my pictures and I'm talking to my downline and I'm like, duplicate this, do that. Sometimes it just isn't enough and they still aren't getting it, right? And what is personal brand? So your personal brand is what you are known for. It is how you stand out, and it is a marketing strategy where you build a brand around the most important product ever. And that product is you. So people need to know, like, and trust you before they like what you have. And here's the problem. We're all trying to show our day and everything that we're doing, but we don't have a message and we don't have valuable content. So therefore, we think just showing our day is enough. And then we post about the products and we wonder why we don't have results. And it's because we aren't creating valuable content that people want to view. Okay. Sure, you may actually sign some people up because they feel like they connect with you somehow. But how awesome would it be to have an exact plan, a roadmap of what you can focus on, so that way you're not so lost when it comes to how do I post about things? How do I make a post today besides just what I'm doing? How can I make it so that way people want to read what I have, right? Or what I have to say. So you have to choose your direction. So let's go ahead and get into building your brand, you guys. Who's excited? I want you to take out a piece of paper. We are literally about to make your brand, which is what people are going to remember you by. Like when you leave the room, what are people going to say about you? If you ask your family and friends, and most importantly, followers on social media, what they know about you, and they can list 5 things, what would they be? Can you think of those off the top of your head? You know, when it comes to me, hold on, do we have somebody unmuted? Let me try to. When it comes to me, I feel like a lot of you know so much about me that you can automatically say probably 5 things about Brittany off the top of your head of what you know me for, right? That's what we want to create with you and your viewers. So let's go ahead and start building your brand. So now, how do you build more likes, more views, more comments, more messages in your inbox, more people wanting to ask you stuff, more views on your YouTube channel, more people signing up with you, more people clicking your polls? That sounds really exciting, right? Okay. So you need to figure out what you want your message to be. This is really important. I wrote all this down, y'all. So I'm trying to figure out a good place to put my book. Let's see if that's good. Can you guys still hear me the same, or is it kind of muffled? Is it good? Okay. We'll just keep the book here. It's kind of hard for me to look down. Okay, so let's figure out what your message is. How many of you guys know what your message is right now? Put a 1 in the comments if you know what your message is. Put a 2 if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, most of you have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so ask yourself, you can write this down. Who are you? Are you a mom? Are you a college student? Are you somebody who maybe is at a spot in their life where they don't know what they're doing or their next steps? Are you, you know, a Marine? Are you a teacher? Are you, like, who are you? Okay. The second thing is, what can you offer from an experience that you have been through that can help somebody else overcome that same situation? Okay. So let's talk about me, for example. Me, I specifically wanted to always be a mom. Okay. Other people can relate to that. That's who I am. What can I offer from an experience that I've been through that can help someone else? Well, you guys know this. My passion is helping other moms stay at home with their kids. So whatever you've been through, your experience doesn't necessarily have to be just business related. It's maybe something greater. Maybe it has something to do with your child has a condition, okay? That could be your message. What you're trying to spread awareness of, what you're passionate about, okay? These are the things that we need to start being known for that a lot of us aren't talking about. So I want to see in the comments, and I'll go ahead and read these out. What is something that you've been through that you feel like you can offer value to somebody else who's going through that same situation? Maybe something that you've overcame. What is your solution? What have you been through? It could be drugs. It could be a domestic abuse relationship. It could be, becoming a single mom, having a baby young. That's awesome. You had a premature baby. You're drowning in debt. Being a single mom, being in college, domestic abuse. Okay, these are all a part of your story. A miscarriage. That's so personal. These things are so personal. This is a part of who you are, and you all have a solution, right? You had a solution to that problem. You've overcame it in some way. Mental illness, diabetic, starting over after marriage. Now, here's the second question I have for y'all. Are you talking about those things publicly on social media? Put a yes or no. Anxiety, health problems. A lot of you are saying no. Some of you are saying yes. Okay. So what pain points have you had? So my pain points in life have been being overweight, getting made fun of, or my parents separating, or just drowning in debt. Certain things in your life that you're almost ashamed to talk about. Other people have those pain points as well. So you have to understand that your experiences, your stories, your personal message is more important than the company's story. And you'll see that it's easier to utilize attraction marketing when you focus on what you have been through, what you have overcome, and how you want to help other people with that specific situation. Okay? Is this making sense right now? A lot of people are talking about the business and just the business, and it's always about what the business has done for you, which is great, but you want to stand for something over that, something that's over all of those things. Why you do what you do, why you have a voice on social media, why you go live, why you're just down to the basics of interacting with people online, because you have something to talk about that is greater than the company's message. It's your message, okay? Yes, you have a purpose, right? Everybody has a purpose. And sometimes it's not just sharing the business or the products. It's something that is so much greater than that, okay? So it isn't just showing what you do every day that is considered attraction marketing. Like I talked about, a lot of people just feel like, this is what I'm having for lunch. Oh, we're out at the store. This is what my dog's doing. Or look at my kids. That's great. But it's about creating content related to your personal message and brand, while showing that you are a real person around the business, around your message, and things that other people can relate to. So we will get into how to create content right after this, but first let's figure out your brand. So I want to know, do you have clarity right now on what your brand is? Do you have something that just clicked in your mind? Did you have an aha moment of what you should be talking about now? Yes, amazing. And I saw a few people actually say that they were really just almost afraid to talk about something. And I'm going to go into being vulnerable and how important that is in a little bit. If you still feel like you're not clear on what your message is, we're going to take a step into another section that may help you realize what that is, okay? So let's go ahead and brand you. So here's a question. If the company shuts down today, can you still sell a new product tomorrow? If the company completely shut down, which they won't, we're debt free, thank God. But if the company shut down, would you have built up a brand around yourself that you could sell something else the next day? That's what's important, is that you're not relying on people to just buy our products, but buy from you, okay? So first, branding yourself. Let's promise to yourself right now that you understand doing this is not going to get you results overnight. This is a process. This is going to tie in to the work every day. This is not the only thing you should do. This is going to be something that you're going to change probably 3 or 4 times until you get it right. But the fact is that if you do this and you work on this, you're going to find out a lot about yourself. And you're going to one day look back and say, my brand started from here, but now this is where it is. And it's so strong. And I have such an audience and such a large following. It's going to be so crazy. Just like how you are in your business right now, where you started from the beginning and now you're here, right? It's the same thing with your brand. So it's not going to click with people overnight. What's key is consistency, just like anything else, you guys. Okay. So, that's what you need to do, is you need to promise yourself that you're going to stick with this and kind of trust the process. Okay. So what are your pain points? My examples are, like I said, no money. For me, it was not being home with my kid. It was not feeling confident in myself, not feeling good. These are things that you should be talking about when it comes to sharing the business or sharing the products. So, for you, think about why you joined. Okay. This is kind of like where it ties into your why. You joined maybe for the products or the business. So put in the comments, did you join for the products or did you join for the business? And what I mean is, like, were you so excited about the products that you were just like in awe and you're like, I gotta sell this, I gotta share it, I gotta tell everybody about it? Or were you more like, oh, I want to do the business, I want to make money and help tons of people make money too? Like, you know what I mean? And for me, yeah, it was definitely both for me. But the pain points are important because it will solve you. Like, okay, let me read this word for word. Here we go, so I don't mess it up. No money and not being home and not feeling confident. Now, what about your business or products will solve those pain points for somebody else? So if your pain point is losing weight, like you just want to lose weight and you don't feel good, now how are your products going to, what is the solution to that pain point? And that's what you have to talk about, okay? So now providing value and solutions around those pain points for your audience is going to show them that they had the same struggles, they have the same pain points that are really hard to even talk about, and you're selling that solution, okay? So these solutions and tips and genuinely wanting to educate your market around these pain points are going to provide value and solutions for your audience going through the same exact things. So you're genuinely wanting to educate your market about how you were struggling with your weight. Let's just stay on that topic example, okay? You were struggling with your weight and it was so embarrassing. And now you're talking about the solution to that pain point, and other people are going to relate to that, okay? So offer your products and business as a solution to their pain points is what's going to help them feel the emotion and not just want to buy a product, but buy a product for a reason. So we don't sell products, in other words, we're selling solutions. So focus on your pain points. This can go towards the business, this can go towards the product. Sharing your story is going to do exactly what you think it's going to do. It's going to speak directly to them. That is why college students sign college students. That is why teachers are signing teachers. And that's why your story and what your pain point is and what your message is ties together. So that way, when you're so vocal about it, you are going to attract what you are, or who people that are like you. you're going to attract other people that are like you specifically. So sometimes we feel like our story isn't like another person's, or it's not best because it's not this grand story that you feel like everyone else is a teacher, so they're going to be able to connect to it. No, there's so many people out there that are just like you and have your story, but you're not being vocal enough, and you're not telling it enough, that a lot of people aren't even seeing it. So I had this awesome Zoom the other night, and I said, if you were free from judgment in your business whatsoever, you had no judgment from anybody, would you be showing up more? Would you be more loud on social media? Would you be talking to people more out in public? I mean, would your posts be differently? These are all things that are super important, because when you realize there's value in your message and how you can help other people with it, that is not only going to make you passionate about what you're doing, but it's going to make other people see value in you because you're helping people, okay? So that right there is the first part to branding. That is your first thing that you are going to brand yourself as. So what is it for you? For me, it's helping other moms stay at home with their kids. That is a pain point. I'm going to talk about it always. In fact, I did a post about it today. I got 3 messages from it, and I signed a distributor today. So it is working, you guys. The post was Michael laying in bed with the kids, and I was talking about how daddy doesn't have to be at work. We don't have to FaceTime through a phone on his lunch break to be able to communicate with what we're doing every day. He can actually be here. So that's an example of a pain point and how you're branding yourself and what you stand for. So at the end, I always end with, I believe that every single person should be able to have the opportunity to do this. And for you, if you're someone who's doing this for weight loss, you can say, I believe everybody should be able to feel as great as I feel right now. And then before that, maybe you were talking about where you were. So it's all about past, present, future, and the future is the solution you found. So that's the first step to branding, you guys, is truly just figuring out, what do you want to change in the world, and how can this business help you do that? Okay. So let me see if I can pull up some examples here for y'all. Give me just a sec. Let's see. So I have a lot of leaders that sent me their photos to kind of show me what their, I guess we can call them pillars, what their pillars are as far as what they stand for in this business. So that's what we'll call it. We'll call it like pillars. It's basically bullet points that even you could put in your bio if you wanted to, that you want people to know you by, okay? So let's see. Okay, so let me show you guys what we're doing here. So what I did was I went to our diamond and above leaders, and I asked them to give me their 5 things that they want to be branded by. So this is the next thing that we're going to go into, and then I'll kind of tie everything back in. But you have to know what you are, who you are. Okay, let's put in the comments right now. If someone was to describe you in maybe one word, what would it be? Or if somebody knew you for something, what would it be? So it can be something, you branding yourself can, number 1, it has to be your message. So I want all of you to put number 1 down on the paper, and I want you to put what your message is. What do you want to do? Do you want to help people stay at home with their kids? Do you want to help people, pay off debt? Do you want to help people buy a house for the first time, or help people feel good? Like, what is your message? What do you want to be known for doing? Like, what are you doing? Okay. That's number 1. The next thing is, it can be 4 other things about you that you want people to remember you by. So it could be that you are a science nerd. It could be that you love giving back. It could be that you have an obsession with sushi, or an obsession with like chicken, or something like llamas. You love llamas. or maybe that you are a boutique owner, or you love fashion, or you love farmhouses. It could be that you love being funny and you love singing and you love, so what is your thing? So makeup obsessed, that's a great one. Obsessed with pens, and you're a nurse, so that's cool. I made it pretty obvious that I loved sushi not too long ago, and everyone tags me in sushi things all the time. Okay. It could be that you love traveling. It could be outdoors, hiking. You love kids. Okay. But those things are great. But like we talked about in the beginning, your main thing that we talked about has to be your message and what you stand for. Okay. So here we go. This is Christy, and Christy stands for learning to be fit, charitable giving, going debt free, funny stories, and family adventures. So as I'm reading these, if one of these stick out to you, you can definitely stop me and just put it in the comments, be like, that's it, that's my thing, and just write that down. Okay. So here's Kelsey. Okay. She's one of our double diamonds. And hers are Mom Bod Journey, Going Debt Free, Wine and Coffee, and Baking. She's spreading a message of positivity, inspiration, and self-development. Okay? Here's Caitlin. She wants to be known for her fitness journey. She's a worship influencer, fashion, the road to debt free, and adventure seeker. Okay? And here's Ashley. So hers is hiking, interior design, and home finds, traveling, fitness journey, self-development, and inspiration. Let me see which other person we have. Okay, so here's Nicole. She's about fitness, travel, food, wine, books. And here's Stasia. She's about becoming debt-free, DIY for the fur babies, dating your spouse, Proverbs 3:15 queen, and then fitness journey. And then of course we have Katie. Okay, hers is all things crunchy, fashion and makeup, fitness, Disney fanatic, and going debt-free. And then we have Jerica. She's talking about how she loves beer and tacos. And she loves hiking, random beach day trips, shopping spoils, and being a voice for domestic violence victims. Okay. So some people put their voice and what they stand for besides what they want to be known for, and others didn't do that. I want you guys to make sure that you have what you stand for. Okay. That's super, super important. So all right, I want to know your 5 things. This was very hard for me just because it's hard for me to sit down and pick out these 5 things because I kind of lost myself after both kids. I feel like I just want to resort to mom life and business. And that's all I've known for so long, that this was really hard for me. So if it's really hard for you, just know that it was very hard for me too. But here's the cool thing. If you can go and ask anybody on your status right now, this is a little cool activity. If you can ask anybody in your messenger, or maybe put up a status and say, hey, I'm working on a project right now. I want you to comment something that you see in me that stands out to you. Or just, if you could describe me in 5 words, what would it be? How many of you are willing to go post that as your status right now and see what people think about you? The cool thing is that you're either going to find out you have been personally branding yourself already, or you haven't. And when I did it, I got a few comments, but I wish I had gotten more. And it's funny because the comments that I got in were just mom, business, and sushi. So that tells me I really want to broaden what I'm known for, but not make it too much, but also just enough to where I'm known for many different things, and those things can be tied back into my business. So These solutions and tips are genuinely wanting to educate your market and create trust between you and your followers. So when you post about these things, posting it is going to make other people want to follow you because they relate to these same things. So I had one girl, she is actually, I think you said you lived on a farm, right, Candace? Or you have a farm on your property. And I just thought that was so awesome and something unique. So if there is something unique about you, don't overlook that. You know, even though I don't even think you thought it was something to talk about when I mentioned it, you were just kind of like, you know, well, I'm on a farm. And I'm like, that's so cool. Talk about that. So talk about those things that you may not think are too important, but other people really, really will. Okay, so I've lost track. Give me a second. I feel like I'm not good with notes when I have so many down. But I took so many awesome notes, you guys. It's definitely a lot. Okay. Okay, so ask your Facebook friends. We talked about that. Okay, so if you notice that nobody comments, maybe you have not been personally branding yourself, okay? So what you can do is you can talk about what you want your brand to be, okay? So the status you can put up, let me repeat it. It could just be like, I'm working on a project right now, and if you could describe me in 5 words, what would it be? Okay. Okay, so write down 5 things that you want to be known for and you want people to associate you with. So for me, I couldn't think of 5 things. I literally could not. I put down sushi and I think that was it. And I put down health and wellness actually. So mine was really hard because like I said, I kind of lost myself after I was doing the business so long and I was a mom. I kind of forgot what my hobbies were. And actually I do have hobbies. So, I just haven't done them for so long. So this is not only going to help me find myself again, but it's also going to help me get back into this place where I'm creating the person I want to be. So for me, I put mine as weight loss and healthy cooking. And I put it as sushi. I put sushi down. But the other 3 things that I put were family, fun, and crafts. And the reason why that's kind of like one thing. So the reason why I put that is because those things are things that I enjoy doing, but I haven't been doing as much because I've let the business kind of take over my life. And I want to be able to do the arts and crafts and have family fun again and post family fun ideas. Maybe, you know, you ever get that magazine in the mail and it's like summer fun ideas and stuff like that? That's what I want to do. And that is actually what people are going to want to see is because they're going to be learning something. I'm also going to be spending time with family. So it's not just feeling like I'm only working my business, but this is also going to help me almost tell myself, hey, it's okay to do this thing. It's what you need, spending time with your family, and you're going to be able to grow your business this way because it's now a part of your brand. So I used to think, you know, we can only post about the business and the products, and that's the only way that I'm going to get customers, but truly taking a step away from doing those things and saving that for the power hour, saving that for when the kids go to bed, and taking your personal branding bullet points that you're making right now up, include that as part of your day. And that's technically working. And that is the best thing. All you have to do is document it and find the new content and create it. So the next thing that I did was I put fashion. So remember what I said, if you're having trouble writing those things down, think about the things that you do want to do. Maybe college got in the way, or your life took over and you forgot about these things, or maybe you wanted to travel and you haven't yet. This can force you to travel and go out, even if it's to the city somewhere or a 3-hour away day trip, okay? So I put fashion because I love clothes. I love jewelry. I love dressing up and taking cute photos. And I only do that ever so often. And actually those things are what get me lots of likes, lots of comments, because people love my style. They always ask me, where are my rompers? Where do I shop? Can you send me where you got this? So that's a good way that I know I can easily take photos and just order things online and then show fashion for not only me, but my kids. So that is allowing me to step back into a spot where I was in high school and college, where I had the cutest outfits and stuff like that. So think about the things that you're doing on social media already that get you a lot of likes, if it's fashion or makeup, and maybe you're just like, I've always wanted to do my makeup, but I never can. Then force yourself into that spot where if you do it, it's going to make you money and you're going to feel good while doing it, because you're becoming the person that you want to be, if that makes sense. Okay. And then, so I have weight loss and healthy cooking, fashion, sushi, family fun and crafts, and traveling. Okay. So, some examples of what else you could put is, maybe you love to cook, or like the other girl said, faith and religion. Now, these are mine and the teams. I already went over that. And pay attention, you guys, to the things that maybe you wanted to do for the rest of the summer with your kids and your family, and jot some of those things down. Even if you need a day to think about it, that's totally okay. So how do your pain points blend with this? So the business and the products mold into all of these situations. So for instance, whenever I am talking about fashion, I can incorporate the products into that. So let me look through the comments real quick and see what you guys put. This is how you pick 5 things that have nothing to do with the business. They are about you, and then you mold the business into it. So that way you guys are always thinking of things that you can post. You never run out of ideas. You're posting things that other people can relate to, that have things in common with you. Now you can incorporate the business into these things. So let's see what you put. So you put that someone put that they were a student, so they want to be known for being like a college student. So you can either incorporate the products into that or the business, okay? How can you incorporate the products? Well, college kids need energy. They need money, and they need, how can you incorporate the products into it? Okay, energy, not getting enough fruits and vegetables because you're eating at the cafeteria all the time, like stuff like that, or you're eating under stress, so you need confianza. So the business part of it, you need money to pay off tuition, you need money to buy books and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's how you can use pain points from your bullet point that you're branding yourself with, is by talking about how the freshman 15 got to you, or the cafeteria food is horrible, and how you feel fat or how you feel unhealthy. But the products did this for me, okay? So let's talk about the business side of it. I'm a college student. I'm posting college stuff all the time. I'm posting college memes, and I'm talking about all these cool apps that can help you with college stuff. I'm creating valuable content. But then I talk about how I couldn't afford my books last year and how hard it was, and I had to ask my parents for money and they didn't have it, and I felt like I was trying to succeed but I couldn't. But my solution was this business. So you can drop those things here and there, but people come to you because they see your college content about, like I said, maybe facts about how to get smarter test grades, or you're providing content about how you can, a water bottle that comes with you to all your classes. That's really I don't even know, okay? But you're basically talking about stuff that college kids can relate to and sharing that. So that way when you do drip those things, they're almost in a place where they have to see it because they love following you for what you guys have in common. Does this make sense? Drop a 1 in the comments if this is like now like, oh. Okay, let's do one more thing. So mom life, I'm sorry, is not a part of your 5 things. So if it's on there, take it off. You can show mom life, but what about mom life do you want to share? Okay, you're providing a solution or some kind of info. What info can you provide on mom life? You can't just talk about dirty diapers, and you can't just talk about bottles or how you're dropping your kids off to school. Yes, you should show those things, but what about mom life? Is it organization for the playroom and the clothes, or is it, what do you love about mom life? Is it singing with your kid? Is it doing arts and crafts? Is it outside activities? Like, what about mom life? That's what you want to put, okay? Let me do one more so you guys can kind of connect with this. Hold on, I'm trying to get an example. Okay, I'm not seeing one. I think I scrolled past it. So if somebody is a soccer mom, okay, here we go. Perfect. So if you're a soccer mom, what are your pain points? Okay, let's talk about it. You're sharing soccer mom content, soccer mom memes. You're maybe talking about soccer mom stuff. I don't know. Maybe you're posting the videos of you guys at soccer all the time, and you're showing behind the scenes, and you're showing the kids, and you're talking about maybe soccer facts or something going on in the soccer world that other moms can relate to, right? And then you talk about how thankful you are for the energy stick that you have, and it got you to the game because you always felt tired after a long day of struggling, of being a mom, and then you have to make it to a game. That's what other moms can relate to if they're a soccer mom, right? So what is your solution? Boom, there. Okay, and you're talking about soccer mom stuff all the time, but then you talk about how 2 years ago you almost had to, take your kid out of soccer because you couldn't afford to pay for it anymore. So those are the things, okay? So your profile should be like 75% all content. And then maybe every day you can post about the business or the products in a way that tie back to your bullet points, okay? So I'm glad this is helping you guys. Let's go ahead and read some. So Irish twin mama, going debt free, skinny coffee lover. That's all I have. So don't put skinny coffee lover. You're a coffee lover, because other people can't relate to loving skinny coffee. They can relate to loving coffee. So if you're sharing maybe coffee facts or cool coffee mugs or cool coffee ideas on how to make your coffee taste better, okay, that's content. And then you talk about, I found a skinny coffee, you guys. So that's going to get you tons of hits, okay? So you're a teacher, you're a dog mom, you're an ocean lover, you're all about being confident, and you're a college student in cooking. So let's talk about content before, I'll just go ahead and touch on this before we dive into it. So you're a teacher, you're talking about maybe teacher ideas, classroom ideas, different things that you're doing in the classroom that are working, and you're documenting it after the school day. There you go. Other moms are good, teachers are going to want to hear that stuff, right? Because they always want to learn more on how to be a better teacher. So you're a dog mom. So maybe you're posting about dog mom clothes, dog mom lifestyle, dog memes, dog videos, dog whatever, okay? And then ocean lover, you're talking about you going to the beach or photos of you on the beach. If you're talking about being confident, you can teach people how you love being confident, how it's changed your life, how to be more confident, and you're teaching people how to be more confident, okay? College student, we already went over that. And cooking is so amazing because you can incorporate that into the business. Everything right there you can incorporate into the business. The teacher, you can talk about the products, energy. The teacher, you can talk about how teachers aren't paid enough, but you love what you do. So you found a side gig that can help you around that, okay? You guys got to take these things and then find the pain points. Take what you enjoy doing, teach people about what you're doing, find people that love what you're doing and they're doing it too. Find the pain points, talk about the solutions, okay? Okay. So where did we leave off? And you guys, let me just tell you, when you believe in the products in the business so much, this is all going to come naturally. Like, it's all just going to come out naturally, okay? So let's talk about creating content. We now have your 5 things. Let's just go over. What are people saying about you? That doesn't mean you have to keep doing those things. Who do you want to be? That's what's more important, okay? So creating content. First, who is your audience, okay? Are your audience the same kind of people that are interested in your things? How can you get those kind of people viewing you? You can search hashtags. You can join groups. You can think of, if you love painting and you want to branch out in Idaho, you can search on Google Idaho, like, you know, what are those wine and paint places, or like where you can create your own ceramic and paint it. You know what I'm talking about? Find those places on Google in Idaho, and then go to Instagram, search that place, find the tag, and then follow everybody who tagged themselves there. Think outside the box. You can do that on Facebook too, okay? So that's who you want to start adding, is people that are interested in the same things you are interested in, okay? So you want to create content that no matter what social media platform you're on, they will always find new things that interest them and help them. And that is what makes your content valuable versus boring, okay? So how do you do that? You can invest your time and sometimes money into learning things and then teaching it, talking about it, showing it, okay? So what I mean by that is you can invest in a book, and you can talk about the book and what you learned in the book and how you're implementing it into your life. You can go and take a cooking class and learn how to cook something and document it, and then teach people it too. Talk about how you're going to a cooking class. You can then, you know, highlight that place, highlight what you're learning, you know, whatever. And doing these things, you guys, this is how you're going to get paid to share other products, okay? When you create your brand, you know, people know, you know, specific people who are interested in fashion, right? They are so interested in fashion and love sharing it and teaching about it that companies reach out to them so that way they can pay them to share their things. So think about the power of this. You know, you should never have just one stream of income. Like, master that one stream of income, get to ambassador, and then you can use your personal brand to bring in so many different streams of income. You can be an Amazon influencer. You could be, you know, Katie, she uses her kids to model for this boutique, and she gets paid for every referral. Like, there's so many different things that you could do by just working on you right now that it's going to pay you millions in the long run, okay? And I promise I'll get to questions at the end. So you can buy books. You can search hashtags or join groups to learn new content. You can watch YouTube. You can watch seminars. You can go to conferences. Like I said, cooking classes. And once you start doing this, you guys, I can promise you that people are going to fly to you like magnets. Attraction marketing is not getting people to like you. It's getting people to like you because of what you have to offer to them. So that's why some attraction marketing, you think that just talking on camera and just showing what you're doing is attraction marketing. It's kind of like half of it, okay? You got to take the two and put it together. So Steve Jobs said that the marketplace is so noisy, it's so crowded, so how are you going to stand out in it? How are you going to be different? Well, you need to do things most people won't do. So that means being 100% you on social media. 100% you, unapologetically, no ifs, ands, or buts. If you like to dance and be crazy, be crazy. If you're shy and timid, then be that. Don't feel like you have to be anybody else. Talk about what you like to do. Are you playful? Are you adventurous? Are you an F-bomb dropper? Are you humorous? Are you serious? Are you all about God? Be you and stop showing up diluted, because as you start showing up as a diluted version of you, you're going to start attracting diluted followers who do not connect with you. They're not your audience. When you start showing up completely you, unapologetically, no F's giving, and you stop worrying about what everyone has to think, and you're totally you, people are actually going to appreciate you more because you're real, you're genuine, you're literally the person that you are with your spouse, and that's who you should be on social media, okay? So if anyone has anything to say about you, you weren't talking to them anyway. You're talking to your audience, all right? So an example of good content. What you find in a magazine is good content, okay? What you find on bloggers' walls that have 100,000 followers is good content. You know, Cosmo or 17 magazine. I mean, literally any magazine you have sitting around the house, you should pull out, okay? It is not about writing what they're writing. It's about what are they writing about and what are they saying? Like, how are they taking something, a topic, and how are they creating content out of it? That is how you should treat your social media from this point on, okay? So it's going to be pretty simple. Think about it. 5 things you have written down there. Once a day, focus on maybe one thing, okay? So example of what good content is. Number 1, good photos. Photos that stick out. Your photos is not your content. Your photos are part of the content and is what's going to draw people in, but what's really going to get people wanting to continue reading is what you have to say, and once again, your message, okay? So this is part of the magazine, and if you think about it, what is the magazine known for is what it's talking about. That's its brand, okay? So this part is all about style. It's showing different things that you can buy. It's showing different outfit ideas. So if fashion was your thing, there you go. You can show your haul. You can get home, go live, and show everybody what you bought, and then talk about maybe the deals going on and how you found the deals and so forth. Or you can get home and show the different outfits and how you would pair it differently and give advice on why you would put that necklace with this and so on. So that's what they did here. Look, they took the same dress and showed you 2 different ways to pair it. All right, they're showing different jewelry. So here's another thing. They took food, okay? Here's the other section of the magazine, food. They're talking about the chef and the history behind the chef and the restaurant and the history of the food and why they chose these ingredients for that specific reason. So you can then look at that and tie that back into when you're cooking. You can see that they talked about, you know, how they cooked the specific filet that way and why they did it. So that way, you know, when you're making your mac and cheese from scratch, okay, maybe not mac and cheese. I'm not fancy, but if you're making your mac and cheese, you can talk about like, oh wait, I've read so many magazines. I remember they talked about why they should do that. So I'm going to talk about why I should do that. Like, it's literally just kind of common sense. It should come naturally to you. Okay. So talk about why. If you are into cooking, it's time to start watching cooking shows. This is investment. When we talked about investing into stuff so that way you can provide content, that's not just money, you guys, it's your time. Do you realize everything I'm telling you, I've literally spent a day and a half on. I've watched videos. I've watched YouTube channels. I've literally sat here, I wrote all my notes down, and then I put all of this into a 3-page step-by-step thing, even though I'm still not reading it right. I'm kind of all over the place. I know that this content is so valuable to you guys and you are learning something that I'm willing to invest into that so I can provide content for you. As a leader, that's what you should always do, but also building your brand, that's important also, okay? So I hope that kind of explains and helps you understand what good content is. Does anybody want to shout themselves out real fast about maybe some good content that they made this week? I'm going to pull up some examples real quick and then we'll move on to the next thing. All right. This one's a really good one. So Nicole, my double diamond, she's all about traveling, and currently she's in Key West. So she took her traveling and combined it with a message, and also good content plus a message plus her reason why she's doing this all into one post. Okay, so this is the photo. Okay, so it says, we hopped off and on a trolley all day today and got to visit the most amazing historical sites. So she's providing content through showing this photo. It's a historical site. Okay, one thing I really wanted to share with y'all is that Gianna said to a complete stranger, we're here because my mama can afford it now. My heart is complete. So she's also sharing her message that, you know, it's going to connect with the other people that love to travel or want to travel, that she's able to do this now because of the business. And it leaves that curiosity. It's not laying it all out there for you to, you know exactly what she does. Someone is going to see this and they're going to want to know more. Okay. Is that a really good example to kind of like show you guys? I thought that was awesome. Let me see if I can get one more of some good content. Okay. And content can also be like blogging about your life. That's another way for people to really fall in love with you and want to learn more, is because of what you're doing every day. So that can also be like a big reason why people want to follow. So here is, hold on. Here's Katie's, okay? So this is her in Disney. So she's got a lot of Disney people, all right? Yes, this is gonna go on my YouTube channel. It says, if you're planning a trip to Disney, you must add this to your list. Nutella waffle at Magic Kingdom, Sleepy Hollow. It got 350 likes, and she hashtag all Disney stuff. So Disney people are now gonna find it. And now she can talk about all the things at Disney, show people new things, talk about new rides, talk about food, show that off, and also incorporate the products and the business into it, okay? Because she can afford to go to Disney. Makes sense? So I hope that helped a little bit. So creating influence and credibility and value. So this is really important. Okay, what is influence? I'm going to show you guys super quickly what influence is. I have it screenshotted literally word for word, so that way you guys can understand it, okay? Influence is someone or something that has an impact on or shapes how people act or how things occur. A person who convinces others to listen and do what he or she suggests. That is an influential person, okay? So can you think of somebody that is influential to you, whether it's someone in the business or somebody outside of the business? They impact your decisions on how you do things in life, basically. It's someone you look up to, someone you want to be like, all right? So how can you be that person? All right, now how can you create value? Everything that we just talked about. Well, value is a quality or idea that is considered important. So when you take your influence, your value, how do you create that credibility? Okay, I'm going to give you guys some examples. So make people feel good and connect emotionally. That is definitely huge. You got to make people feel really good about themselves and connect emotionally. So we do that through commenting. You can do that through messaging. You can do that through building relationships. See, your brand is awesome, but it means nothing unless you're getting out there, you're socializing, you're engaging with people on comments, on groups, on pictures, in group chats, everything, okay? So number 2, remember special occasions. This is all creating value, creating influence. All right, so make sure that you are remembering special occasions and talking to people. That's just establishing that connection. That kind of falls under that as well. So like birthdays, engagements, showing people that you care. Number 3, increase your confidence. So how you feel about yourself and others is how people are going to view you. So that's really important. How can you increase your confidence? Well, it's doing things that you know you need to work on. That can be, for me personally, it's a part of my brand. So the fitness, health and wellness, fashion, I feel more confident when I look good, I feel good, and I personally feel good in how I look. So dressing up, whether that's that for you, or maybe it's just reading a book and getting smarter with something that you want to get smarter on, that is going to boost your confidence. So like if you go into, an event and you're asked to speak on stage and you haven't prepared whatsoever, you're not going to be confident. But when you do the work, you invest your time, you write down notes, you study it, you practice it, you talk it, you walk it. That is literally what's going to boost your confidence. So I want to see in the chat real quick, what is one thing you know that you can do right now that's going to boost your confidence? For me, it's getting to my goal weight. For me, it's doing more self-development. That's huge. Working out, eating right, and all of these things you can tie into what we do, and that's the best part about it, right? Lose more weight. Okay, everyone's kind of saying the same thing. But I think working on confidence just comes from knowing the areas where you want to improve and going and improving it. Body, mind, whatever, looks, that relationships, who you are, maybe your relationship with God, all those things, so important. So take care of yourself and feel good is number 4. So when you exercise and you look good, the best you radiates off of you. This uses high-powered body language. So when you feel good, you stand tall. That comes from everything we just talked about, how we feel more confident. It's important that you look confident for others because your body language is how people are going to read you. That comes from, a good example is making your first live video versus making the one that you just made 4 years ago. Like that difference, that is so important. You're becoming more confident, and that reflects in your body language. So just be confident, do the work, learn your stuff. Learn your content and know the knowledge behind what your 5 bullet points are, and that's going to reflect in how you appear on camera, how you appear on lives, because you're confident in what you're sharing, right? Okay, so number 5, how can you be more influential? Be vulnerable. Be open about your emotions. Why? Because it increases your likability and you are real. You're real to people. That's going to inspire people. So like the other day, I just totally admitted I've been so crappy with eating and working out. I haven't been doing my best. It was really hard for me to admit that because I made it seem like I was trying and I was talking about the products and talking to people behind the scenes about like host to post and stuff like that, but I wasn't actually being open that I was being slack. I was going through emotions in my head. I was dealing with stuff, right? So I totally openly admitted that. And I got several messages from like 10 people all saying, I feel you, girl, I'm in the same spot. And I connect with them that way. That is building influence, okay? The 6th thing you could do is ask favors. So there was a study out there that you're perceived as being more positive when you ask for favors. So I don't know the study behind that, but I just put that there because I kind of get it in a way. When you do ask for favors, it's more like you're being real again. You're asking for help. You're kind of just not acting like you have it all. It's a favor, right? So number 7, be charismatic. People won't remember the convo you have with them, but they're going to remember how you make them feel. So that's not just with convo. That's how you are on your videos, how you are on your lives, and how you are in general. So that's really important that you are that person. Think of somebody that is that way in your life. Maybe it's somebody you work with or somebody that you follow. Try to emulate that and be that same person, but you. Try to start being like charismatic. Yeah. So number 8, communicate more effectively. So instead of just saying, hey, I just wanted to message you, let you know happy birthday. instead go a little deeper and say, oh my gosh, I just wanted to reach out and say happy birthday. I just saw this on your page and I just had to tell you da 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 da. So that's a little deeper, and you're communicating more effectively. You know, you're communicating on a deeper level, and you're going into a spot in the conversation that isn't just hi bye. It's deeper with people, and that's important when you're building relationships. Okay. So the ninth thing that you can do to create influence is setting goals and crushing them publicly. So this is why it's important that if you are new, you are posting your goals and things that scare the crap out of you. So that way you're showing people the progress and how you are doing it. That also creates credibility because you're staying true to your word and showing people that you follow through with things. That is inspirational. That is also using your pain points and your bullet points, and people that are seeing that are going to be inspired by you, and that's influential, right? And number 10 is smile more. People love positive people. Do you ever see that person and you talk to them and they're like, and you walk away and you're like, they were just such a great person. Like they are the version of me, but better. Do you ever feel that way? Like they're just a good person and they're so happy, and like, so be that person. Smile more, show people you're giving back, show people that yellow side of you. And people love that. People love people who have a big heart because it reminds them of the good in the world that sometimes they lack. I'm guilty of that too. I definitely see people and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could just be like that. You know, if you are the opposite of that, nobody wants to follow that. So that also plays a role in, are you spreading positivity? Are you spreading a positive word? Are you, inspiring others by what you're doing because you're doing it in a spot where they wish they could do it like you? So that's really important too, okay? So how can we create credibility? So you guys, establishing authority and knowing your stuff. Your content must scream results. Basically, you need to have credibility. But I don't know how else to say it. You need to be credible that what you're saying is legit. You can add resources, you can add experience, personal experience, you can add your story, but it has to be like you are legit. You know what you're talking about. And that comes with time. That comes with people following you. So why not start tonight? Go tonight and go to YouTube, go to Pinterest, go to anywhere and start writing some things down. Start talking, and don't make lists, just start doing, okay? If these are things that are true to you, it should be so easy for you to be able to just go and do these things because they're a part of your daily life already, right? So number 2, walk the walk, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about this. So everything from your online persona, your website, your blog, and social profiles must not only talk the talk, but your actions must walk the walk of whatever you say and do. If you claim to be the best social media and advertising agency on the side of Texas and know how to deliver results, then your own website and your own online persona should not like a 5th grader developed it, okay? Fix the fonts, fix the colors, fix the content. In other words, if you're claiming to be an expert or you're claiming to know all this stuff, then do those stuff. If you're claiming to be a Ruby leader in the next 20 days, start doing that stuff. Start showing people that stuff. You need to show people that you're almost in that position before you're in that position. So that kind of falls back on what I always say. Make sure if you're going for diamond or whatever rank, you're acting like a diamond and showing up, walking the walk, talking the talk, having that confidence, and being super, super proud about it. That there's no flaws. You're just genuine, authentic. And that's going to have people see you that way as well. So, doing that stuff first is going to help you promote in your mind before you can promote actually online, okay? So the third thing you can do to create credibility is hang out with the right people. So if you are talking about, you know, how you're rising up in this business and you're being a top income earner, but you're hanging publicly online with people who aren't the kind of people that you would want to hang out with or who you're trying to be, is really important. Because if you're in a hometown and you are talking about how you are climbing up the ranks and you're changing lives and you're spreading your message, but people see you in the next slide in a dirty room, or, you know, somebody laying on the couch half naked, or, you know, they see you tagged in these photos with these people who are just cursing online, or they're just not like positive people, they're going to associate you with those people. So who you hang out with and who you show up with is definitely, you know, part of your credibility. It's kind of like if you hire somebody and they could have the best resume, the best social media profile, but then you click and you see them with all these people that you hate. And when I mean people that you hate, it could be even things that you don't like, that don't resonate with who they say they are. That is completely ruining his credibility for me. I'm not going to hire him. So be really careful about those things, okay? Make sure your life and everything that you're showing like connects to the person that you're branding yourself as, okay? And the last thing that you can do to show credibility is show your success in what you're doing behind the scenes. So showing that you're on this Zoom right now and talking about your goals and how you're, you know, just what you're doing and your progression towards, you know, your goals and what you stand for. Those things are important because that's going to give you credibility, that you're always showing up, you're always there, you're moving up, and what you're doing is working, what you're doing is impacting people, and others are going to want to be a part of that. Woo! So I have one more picture to show you, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. That was so long, okay? All of this is so important because it's not only about having fun while doing this and not feeling like you have to be something you're not. You're being something you are, and you're becoming somebody you want to be. And now you don't feel that pressure of you have to be a certain way to make sales. You have to show certain things to get ahead. This is something that you can do. You never now have to wonder about, what am I posting? What do I say? It should come naturally now because you're passionate about these things. And because you're passionate about the business, you know that your topic can either be a post about the product or a post about how the business is relating to it, right? So I just want to show you this circle because I thought it was really cool. Do you guys remember these from high school and like school? So this is the relevant to customers. Okay, this is how each content should be. This is, I can't read it backwards, interesting, shareable, and followable. And then what will lead to sales? That's what your whole post.
What? Oh, you can like
it. Right here. Okay, see how all three of those things come together. That is how your posts should look like when you're thinking of creating a post, okay? So moving forward, we're not going to have any more stress. We're not going to feel like this isn't fun. We're not going to feel like this is taking away time from our life, our family. We are simply just doing these things, having fun with it, and showing how the business is helping us do these things and how we're helping people and our pain points. And we're sharing our story vocally, and we're not worrying about what anybody has to say because we have a mission that we're doing. We're doing good. We're seeking out to do good. I don't care how red you are setting out to share some kind of story that's going to help somebody else. And how has this business, how have these products helped you? So it's your decision. What do you want to lead with? You don't always have to do product business. Maybe you want to lead with the products. Maybe you want to lead with the business. If you had to wake up every single day and talk about one thing as soon as you wake up, I want to see in the comments, would you rather talk about the products or would you talk about the business? That should be your main message is relating to that. So make sure that your message relates to what you're putting right here. Okay? And because of that, if you're focusing on products, the business will just come in. You may have to think about the business because you're always talking about the products naturally, but you got to find a way to fit it in, and you'll find that way, okay? Because you're so passionate about the products, you're selling so many products that you can talk about the business easier now because you're making more money, or because you're talking about the business all the time and you're enrolling distributors left and right, you can talk about the products because blank, you know? So let's go ahead and open this up for questions, and I will go ahead and answer them. I'll stay on for like 10 more minutes. What out of this training, I hope this helped, what out of this training do you have a question about? How many posts do I make a day? That is up to you. I think that you have to have at least a good 10 to 12 slides on Instagram story. I think that's important. It's important to focus on these pillars of your brand. But I also think it's important to make sure you're talking about the business and the products. I think that once a day, you should either make an actual post on your wall that is about the products or the business, and you got to find a way that works best for you. Every day I would be on my stories constantly. That's for sure, because that's how I sign everybody. I don't sign a lot of people for my posts. My posts draw you in so you can view my story. My posts are all about my life, my family, my things that I enjoy doing, my brand, right? And that's why they come into my story. So story is important. Make sure you're sharing products and business there as much as you can without it taking over, and leaving little breadcrumbs. But I think that the post itself, you should be posting daily on Facebook about each thing, about your life, and then also about something that ties into the business somehow. Like, you see how simple Nicole's was, the one of her traveling? That was a business post. It didn't scream it works, but it left clues that say, Mama finally can afford this trip. That is a business post, okay? And then maybe on her Instagram story, she's showing how she is, making money. So like, you draw people in that way, get them to your story. So you just have to have a feel of, did I talk about the business enough? Did I talk about the products enough? And if you didn't talk about it somehow today through some kind of post, you didn't do enough. So just have that feel. I think posting 3 times a day on Facebook is okay if you have stuff to say. If you don't have stuff to say, don't throw something up there. That quality over quantity, okay? Quality. What that means is if you have to go out there and write a post for 15 minutes and pour your heart and soul into it and only make one post for the day, that's more important versus just putting 2 things up that you kind of half-assed. You know what I mean? Okay. People adding you back through hashtags while maintaining a private page. So what you can do is go private one day and follow, and then the next week go on public and have people follow you through hashtags. So I go on private sometimes just to follow, and then sometimes I'll go on public. I've done it so many different ways throughout my business. I don't know which way is honestly going to work best, but now that I'm going to implement really focusing on branding, before, like I said, I didn't know I was doing it, but I was doing it. Now I'm going to actually focus and pour into this and really do it the right way. You guys can learn more on YouTube. If you want to go to YouTube, you can type in how to build my personal brand on social media. They have stuff for network marketers. You can do that too. And you can basically go find out more. But that's what I do. I just kind of go back and forth, and I now want to stay on public. And that's because I've built a large following from following on private. But now I want to stay public, and I want to hashtag my brand more and the things that I love doing, and go find people and interact and have them hopefully follow back. And you know, just because I've been hashtagging more, I got 10 new followers today just organically, and I didn't really try. And that was just from hashtags, tagging places, being on public. And so you know, I feel like that's a good thing to do, is be on public when maybe you get a good like 3,000 followers. That's my probably best advice for you. When it comes to Instagram, do you keep your posts the same color scheme? That's a really good question. I wouldn't go too extra on it. I think if you use the same filter for every post, like from Lightroom, and if you don't know how to use Lightroom, we have the Social Media Academy in the Dreamcatchers. It's in the units. It teaches you how to add filters, how to do, you know, Lightroom and stuff like that. So other than that, I just focus on trying to add a lot of pinks and take my photos outside, make sure the background is, you know, something that's attractive and not just a dark house. Okay. So step outside, you know, focus on what other people are doing in their photos and find what makes you excited to do. Maybe it's having a blue tint on all your photos. Maybe it's having everything white, you know, or doing a certain pattern. That's up to you. You're going to change it over and over, but that's all about like discovering yourself, and people are going to notice that as well. So pick something you love. Oh my God. Okay, no one saw that. A fly just flew in my ear. Okay. This fly has been in my house for 3 days. I thought it was dead, but it won't die. What self-development do I do? I have started reading books, yay. And I've also just gone to YouTube. I searched Tony Robbins, or I searched Gary Vaynerchuk, and I listened to some hardcore read self-development. People who straight to the point, they don't sugarcoat it, and they give you what you need to hear. So I just type in self-development network marketing on YouTube, and I click on a few things, and they all speak to me. And then I subscribe, and then I'll follow new people, and then all these videos start popping up, and I have a never-ending supply of self-development videos, okay? Is it bad if I want to maintain a private Facebook for only friends and family? I do think that's bad, just because, you know, if you're going to be private, you can't just have family and friends that you have now as your market, because it's going to be the same people over and over and over. If I only kept the same amount of people in the beginning of my business as my friends, I wouldn't have promoted. I probably would have quit because I wasn't getting results. So it's important that if you're going to keep things very private, that you are maybe just adding new people into your social media that are people who are like you. Like, I don't add men. I don't add older, creepy people. I just add moms my age, people I can relate to. That's what I would do. But if you're not bringing in new, you're not going to go far. And I think that you should utilize social media in a way that you feel comfortable. There's this one top earner in another company I came across. She has all her kids standing backwards to the photos. So it's always just the back of their heads. But it's like the whole entire trip and the whole like palm trees and everything, but you never see their faces. So that's, you know, you can think outside the box, maybe a way to not air everything. Or if you just want to keep your Facebook private and maybe start over a new Instagram and start from scratch and just do things how you feel comfortable, you can do that too. But the thing is, you guys, is once you just stay private, you're literally blocking yourself out from the rest of the world coming to see who you are, and that could kill your business. So I would just do what you're most comfortable with, but also understand that if you stay in your bubble, it's not going to work. It's only going to work for a little bit. My husband's super unsupportive. He just looked at me and asked why I still bother with being on Zoom since I don't make any money yet. Well, you need to figure out what you are not doing right and become an expert in it and prove him wrong. So, you know, try to find ways that you can ask other people, what do you think I need to have help? What do you think I need help in? Ask your upline, figure it out, and become a pro on how to do better. But you guys, it's hard for me because I kind of just figured it out on my own. I'm very self-aware of what I need to work at. So be that person and try to be that person. But that's, that's so unfortunate that he's unsupportive. Whew, that was something I hated in the beginning. But it almost just made me mad to where I wanted to prove him wrong. So, let that be your fire. Yeah. All right, you guys, I am so thankful that y'all stayed on this long. I'm so sorry it took so much time. But you already know my Zooms are long, but the cool thing about them is they're always good info. And I just hope that this and what I shared tonight is exactly what most of you guys needed to hear, to go out there, kill it, and not only kill your business, but teach your team these things so that way you can create a long lasting business. Because, we're here to create a brand that's going to last forever. And that's us. So the most important thing that we can invest in is us and who we are and who we want to be. So I'm just super proud of you guys already, because I know that all of you guys are going to go out there and do these things and become the best versions of you on social media, and that is going to pay you. And that is how you are going to start making more sales, going to start making more team members pop up, and more people take off because they're going to follow everything that we went over tonight, and so are you. So I'm thankful for you guys. I appreciate you, and I will see everybody on the next one.